Okay, so basically, there is this one thing that I definitely know about, and it's pretty much like why I'm scared to basically get big. There was a recent video that just came out about talking about Ninja and him just being big, and people wondering why he can't do these certain things like curse, swear, and all that other junk. The thing is, my channel is very tiny, but let's say if I was to get about, I don't know, like around 100K subscribers one day, because let's say like I get into school, I get to do all these things outside, I get out of the house every day, I work, I get the motivation back to do multiple things on the channel again, and then I make all these in the far time, I make all these animations, um and then you'll start to notice like there's some things that are just not a bit right with the channel, like oh, there's censoring, and there's he's not being as wild as he used to be when he was making his animations. He ain't making dick jokes, making inappropriate jokes, or sort of like those type of things. And you're probably wondering what the hell happened to Marvin Animation. I'm just saying that why I am scared to actually become famous out of my work one day is because you can't make those risks. Like, let's say I make a decent amount of minutes after getting my motivation back. I'm making multiple animations every single day, and YouTube comes up and emails me and says, "Hey Marvin, we've seen that your watch time has gotten pretty big over the while, so we're going to give you back your monetization." And let's say I take the saying and say thanks, even though I made videos of me kicking your ass. Um, Thank you. And so I continue making animations, da di da da di da. But then down the road, let's say I do something or an old video um gets not copyright claimed. I mean, anyone can get copyright claimed and still like, but let's say like there was this video I made, like let's say the thanks that I put my dick in it video. Let's use that for an example. And months time, while I'm got my ad revenue and everything back, and everything's back in order, um, YouTube decides to contact me again and says, "Hey, we're going to cut off your ad revenue unless you get rid of I don't even remember what the name of it even was, but if you don't get rid of that video, we will cut off your ad revenue." And let's say that I'm making a decent amount of money. I'm making twice as much than my job, making cartoons and stuff instead of working at a studio. And this is the only thing I have, basically paying things off, and I'm like happy doing what I do. But I have to now do it. I have to make a sacrifice and stop doing the certain things that I do in my animations. So if I want to continue making money and actually getting more eyes on my channel, I need to stop doing a certain thing. I need to stop cursing, or I need to not use, well, copyright music, or making inappropriate jokes that can just be like triggering people out of nowhere. Um Stuff like that. And let's say I get the same thing that Ninja's getting. Oh, he ain't the same anymore. He's changed. He's not as funny or interesting like he used to be. He isn't wild like he used to be. And that's because, let's say I'm at like 100 and something uh subscribers, and I'm and it's pretty much now my career to do these animations. My mom's happy about it. I'm just saying, my mom's happy about it. My family's proud of me, but I'm so exposed to so many people that even if I didn't care about like what I do, I would have to like face the consequences of my own family, some or someone in my family seeing something that someone else posted that they're following, and it comes back to me. Like, I could be at a party or something, and one of my family members says, "Hey, I saw you did this really inappropriate animation because I watch a guy who watches you, and he says that you're like just doing a whole bunch of just shit like." So, and then that's like another issue because now because now you have someone in your family who can now like spread just mean shit about you, especially if they don't like you, or or um still have the amount of views, but all my old accounts like on Twitter, not gonna say Tumblr because that's gonna probably disappear by the 17th tomorrow. But let's say my Twitter, my Instagram, and I have all these people following me on YouTube, right? But I only want a certain amount of people following me on my Instagram and my Facebook. Even if I did take out the links of those accounts, I would have to delete them because they would destroy my career. They would destroy my reputation of doing what I do. And that is scary. So what I would do, which is very crazy, and I never thought I would actually do something like it, but I would have to destroy that channel or that account. I would have to literally destroy that account, and because I don't want to take no risk of me getting in trouble or losing my job outside of the internet, because I'm so exposed to so many people now. Like, and this is another reason why like a lot of people don't try to take risks, especially only the ones that are like big and such. Because if I'm not big, I can like do whatever the hell I want because I'm not getting sponsored. I'm not getting no payment or anything, and that's like pretty much it. So I can do whatever I want. So it's like whatever. I don't have to care about um what people think of me or whatever. But when you hit that certain amount, then you start to get a bit paranoid and you stop taking risks. You try to play it safe. And I remember I told myself I'm never playing it safe again because it was a waste of my time. But when you get big and stuff, oh, then everything now is a risk that you do. You're like being watched by everybody, and if you're not being watched by everybody, then you're probably being watched by like, even if you like think you're safe trying to do something wild on the streets, it's still gonna get confirmed to people because you're this big person, and since you're big, you have to be careful with everything you do, and it's like mental torture because you have to be careful about everything you do unless you're just that type of guy who just really doesn't give a shit and just doesn't care about making a risk or so and doesn't care about payment or anything and financing and all that other junk to just keep you working. And you have to do those type of things if you want to get paid. It's like if you have an actual job, you can't there's certain things you can't do once you hit a certain level on YouTube. Once you hit a certain level on YouTube, you have to think twice about what you're going to put up. You have to be careful, like, should I put this up or should I just leave that out, or should I put this in the animation or should I leave this out of the animation? And I think that's another reason why people like have like deleted scenes in movies and stuff, because of like it's a certain risk. And that's the thing, people don't like to take risks anymore, because now everybody gets freaking triggered over pretty much anything now. And it's really disgusting to me just to see someone get triggered over the fact that you're eating lettuce, or the fact that you're eating meat, or the fact that you like this game instead of that game. And it's just annoying. To be really honest, it's just really annoying. But what can you do if you want to make that extra cash? Sure, you can work Patreon out, but if you can, but some people just don't want to just do it that way. I mean, if I was to like lose everything after I got big because I shared because I had inappropriate stuff on my other accounts that aren't YouTube, um that would just really suck. But why would I lose my accounts if they're not on YouTube? Because there are people who want to destroy you regardless of who you are. Even if you want to do good by the side of someone, but all they want to do is just ruin you because they're too miserable to even try to do anything to get themselves out of a rut. So they want to make you miserable because I don't know, just because just people are just can be dicks at times. And yeah, like I think that that is the reason why most people just don't try taking a lot of risks, especially the big YouTubers, because they don't want to lose their ad revenue. They don't want to lose like everything they worked very hard for. And I mean, to lose everything you had and try to start all over again would be it's absolute madness to even try to do that. And that's why I don't think like even if Jade Animations and the Hot Ones Out wanted to try to do something risky, they couldn't because again they don't want to end up being controversial. My main That also makes me think that my main reason of why Red Dead Redemption did not get Game of the Year because it was somewhat controversial to certain people. And it's not just YouTube. You just got to be careful with anything. I mean, like even if you want to become like a big fancy superstar or some shit, you would have to actually be very careful on what you say. I don't have to be careful on what I have to say because one, I'm not a big YouTuber. So I don't have to worry about the risk of losing things because of haters or whatever. YouTube doesn't really care about if you like report somebody unless you're a big YouTuber and you're reporting a smaller YouTuber, then you can easily get that YouTuber completely destroyed unless a bigger YouTuber than that YouTuber is it all depends on how big you are in this game of YouTube. Like literally, that's like what it literally no one gives a shit about you if you're like tiny. No one cares. But if you're a big YouTuber, then you start to gain a lot of hate. But this only means that what you're doing is working and that you should continue doing it. If you don't get haters, that doesn't mean you're progressing in a way. I know because I've had this type of experience before my mental breakdown and stopped doing animation because of a certain school that I don't want to talk about anymore because it's just irrelevant talking about it. I mean, even if I did lose everything, I would be able to probably manage myself pretty well because I don't because I've dealt with being alone in my life for like quite a long time, so I can probably handle that without any issues. Sounds like me working on a keyboard. I mean, that's what I always think about when it comes to like if I ever do get big, which I know I will, but I have to take those things into to a serious note because well, it's like one thing you do just now messes you up. And even if I wasn't on YouTube and I was like, I don't know, like an animator, no, not an animator, but just doing commission work for people, there are still people that would try to like either hack my account or try to get me in trouble and try to get my account destroyed or deleted. It's those type of things that you have to be aware of. Like the bigger my channel gets, the more riskier it becomes making content and being aware of what content to make. Then you have to start giving a shit. You have to start caring about what you actually put up. Because like it's almost like school. But and that's pretty much life. You have to when you grow, you have to mature, or else you have to pay the piper of like shit that happens in life. And yes, it can really suck, but yeah, pretty much. And that's why I like to take my time trying to grow an audience, because I don't have to worry about those type of things very quickly about what I put up. But now you can just get in trouble for something that you put up like quite a long time ago. Well, that sucks. And it just sucks just thinking on that, just having to just worry like about that like all the time about what you do and what you post. So I can't get mad at people who basically are playing it safe and are have like so many people like watching them. There was this guy I watched. It was a Try Not to Laugh compilationist. His name was Super High. He was a Try Not to Laugh channel, but he got so big, he got into a lot of controversial shit because people like started framing him of stealing stuff, and he got his stuff deleted. He got his channel like terminated several times. He tried fighting it, but since his stuff was not original, um, and he had no rights to it, he just like got in trouble for it, which really pissed me off because he was probably one of the best Try Not to Laugh channels I've ever seen. He inspired me to get into future funk and vaporwave, and that's why I listen to it a lot. Um, I just think it really just sucks that that even happened. But these other try not to laugh channels, um, they're not as big. They weren't as big as him, and he just got terminated. And I just really hated that. That just really sucks. It really pissed me off. The fact that every single time I would now have to go and see that all of that good content that he had was deleted, and now it is just gone. You can't even get it. You can't even find it anywhere unless unless you see it from some fan of his who likes his work. Of course, this animation doesn't have any sound, but I am going to probably go into it, edit it, and give it sound. Because this was just a little like thought process. Pretty much do all my sketches in like pencil, so that way when I go over it I can easily just select it and go to the pencil thing and just get rid of it that way. Makes my life a lot more easier to do a slap back to reality. Not really sure if I'm ever gonna like get back into it. It was fun because, like I said, like I don't have a life right now. I'm just stuck in the house. Hopefully by the year of 2019, my life gets back together, and then I can go back to having that booming age of just me having fun making animations again, and also working and stuff like I used to. I actually do have a roommate coming in, but I wouldn't say that he counts. I'll just treat him like the rest, like the staff here in residential. Plus, when I sketch out my work, I pretty much know what I'm doing before I like finish it up. So I'm pretty much doing this like, what's the word in the oven? Okay, pretty much like I don't even fucking remember what I was saying. I just forgot that quick. Oh yeah, just like making this animation, pretty much just like how I did the Sarah versus animation. It's not gonna actually be called Sarah versus Amy. It's actually a series that I was supposed to be working on before the collapse. It's called Epic Fist, and that's the name of the actual animation. Sarah is actually Pluto's sister, and this little animation is just little ideas. It's like drawing in your sketchbook, except you're animating like for just exercise, and that's what this is. It's just an exercise of animation. And Pluto and Rod are pretty much my Ren and Stimpy. Pluto's pretty much like Ren, always angry, or just annoyed or frustrated. Rod's more like Stimpy. He's gullible. He's also a gamer. And to like just avoid bullshit, they play fictional video games, but you'll get the references when there actually are references. Sound like I'm fucking dead. That's what I sound like right now. Sound like I'm fucking dead. Like a fucking zombie. Before they went and did the thing, they used to just be like brains, I guess. I don't know. Probably they were like brains. Then they just switched it to being just sound like the fucking Grudge. This shit's like enough to keep anyone working, because they don't look like this when I sketch them. They just look very, very extremely basic when they're sketched with the pencil tool. They don't have a lot of detail. Detail comes in with like, well, the line art, and then I just go back and forth drawing the actual stuff. This one is light a bit too. The method I use when cleaning up or doing these like colors is like, this was the first little sketch I did, and then I just started doing a little tiny animation. The sketches in the back are done with like the pencil tool, so I can go over them with the brush tool. And so then when I'm done with the line art with like the brush tool, like go here, this, say I wanted to make these cracks here because they're in this old dirty ass basement, and let's say like that's what I want. Oh my god, that looks horrible. Just go like that. Okay, this is not on the actual layer, so I'm not gonna like save it. But after that, I like go and select this, which is the sketch, then go like that. But that's only like when the sketch line art is done. So the reason why they don't really look like they look different, because usually when I do like characters, I would do this, like I would just draw them. I guess we could say 2018 is the last year that we actually see, that you'll actually see so I'm gonna just draw Pluto real quick. I would draw him like this and do everything all free-handed all the way down to like a body of some sort. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna like do it in if I wasn't talking right now, I would be putting on like music, if anyone was wondering. but since I'm talking, I'm just doing this little thing. So let's say I got that, and don't know why I'm making a clone. And he usually looks annoyed. I usually start with the eyebrows, so that way I know what expression I'm doing, so that way I'll know what to do for the eyes. And the mouth would usually be on another layer for lip sync. His hair is usually not this color. It's usually like a lighterish, like somewhat like this, but it's dark, but a bit darker. Can't even. Okay. And then I would just do pretty much the exact same thing. Get all the darks. I'm gonna delete this because this is not supposed to be here. But I'm just showing for an example. Back like when I first started doing this type of stuff, I was using Toon Boom, but Toon Boom was too tedious to work with, so I pretty much stopped using Toon Boom and went to using Flash back in 2012 because I hated every animation I made in the Toon Boom because I was not really good with it at the time. I was pretty much a rookie. Probably still am a rookie. Just not much of a loser like I used to be when doing this type of thing. Of course, during 2014, that's when I like left Vanguard, felt like I had no meaning, and just went and try to get back to doing animation. My stepfather was a pain in the ass. He was also abusive. He would like beat me up at times, but not when my mom was looking, because my mom knows how to defend me. I still don't like him because my siblings hate me because of him. And then I would go here, delete those pencil outlines, and I would pretty much like just work from that. And it makes everything else a lot more easier. But now I don't do that anymore because I'm trying to do something new. I've been trying to work with the newer style, and that's pretty much like doing this. It's a bit complicated, and it's really hard for me to even explain like what the hell is this. Well, it's me sketching. I need to get back to my Instagram and start drawing on there. I've been gone for too long. Just say I want to make this person big, and this helps out to sketch the characters first. Damn, I'm getting really frustrated because I want to like show how this type of thing I do works, but it's such in a way complicated to even explain. But this is how I would pretty much like do it, like make the motions and stuff and do everything else line art instead of doing like a rough sketch of hair and all that. Well, let's give this person a scarf. Make her Amelia Earhart. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know who the fuck this person is. It's just a random person. As you can see, I did this less than a minute. I would literally have to count just to figure out how long this was. And so I don't do all of that nonsense because it gets tricky. What I do is I just do a little profile of what the person looks like, and then just animate this basic thing into like something sort of like this with motion and stuff. This person's not here, so let's get rid of that. Left at Pluto because he's afraid of whatever he was looking at. Straight up knocks out Rod. Almost feels like an Amphstar video because of the way I click on this keyboard. I used to hate the way I talk because I would sound very young for a guy my age. I didn't have a deep voice, like a real deep voice, like a real deep voice, like born with like a real, or like hit puberty and have like this really big deep voice like most black boys have. But I just don't. And I think that's where my gift really shines out, because with this voice I can sound like a kid, I can sound like a girl, I can sound like anything I want. And what's that good for? These animations. I can sound like anyone I really want to without trying really hard to sound really different. And I like that. The fact that I can do that just reminds me about why I do animation in the first place. Because that's pretty much my gift. My gift is doing voices and making animations out of those voices. Even if sometimes they're just the same voices, I still have fun with it. Now, since I forgot that Rod actually has sleeves, I have to go back and do the other ones, because he doesn't have sleeves on these parts. That's just easy. All I have to do is just edit. There's a thing in like Toon Boom where if you try to draw on like the same drawing, and if you like duplicate it or something, it would have the same, it would like pretty much copy the edit, and it would make things a lot more complicated than they need to be, and it would get frustrating. When on the other hand, Flash doesn't do that type of nonsense, and you can make a duplicate and it doesn't end up having the same edit like the other duplicate. That's why I use Flash. That's why I don't use any other program, because I've been using this program pretty much since 2012. I think 2012. If I used this like probably a long time ago, I probably would have I probably would actually been able to make better animations back then, and they wouldn't look like shit. Because they look like shit. I mean, like, if I could look back at the stuff I did, I would say, oh my god, this looks like shit. That would literally be what I would say. It looks like shit. So maybe I am glad that I probably don't have to look at that stuff and just say, oh, this is shit. Why did I even keep these CDs? They're shit. If I was to stay at my school and not left, I would have probably been like one of the most coolest kids inside of the school, even though I was already. But after looking at my stuff and just being able to accomplish so much with my skills, I looked back at it and I was like, oh my god, I used to get angry. Now I understand why I used to get angry at my old drawings, because they would always look like shit. And whenever there was an improvement, I guess it looked better. Who likes to have shitty drawings? I mean, it's something nice to look at when you're like past that point and you've actually improved on like what you did back then. And just to see that it was all worth it. Every last horrible, shitty drawing now looks like a masterpiece now. Your old characters that you grew up with and that you created and that you gave a story to now look a lot better. They look like pretty much better than what you visioned. Really have him shake. If I wasn't able to like change my voices like I can, probably wouldn't be doing what I do best. Because me changing my voices helped me also to still be inspired. This actually should be a thumbnail. Like I know there's like people that just say that Toon Boom is better, but to me I just think that Flash is just best when it comes to being a beginner into this stuff. I mean, Toon Boom would like take way too much time to just try to understand. Way too much time. Maybe a little bit. Copy. And this layer is a guide. So that way I don't have to go back and forth and like get the colors I want when I'm like coloring in characters. Since it's only Pluto and Rod that I'm mostly seeing, they're the only ones I have to color. I could just leave this as a sketch, but I think it will look better if it's just a background. So to make another layer, course, there's no wood down here because it's the basement. And usually when there's patched holes, there's just concrete. Should have done this like for the Gariel thing, but this is before. So it's like after that. You know, I think we're just gonna like put that over on top of this, so that way I can just get rid of it later. it's ready to color. Okay, I think that's it for now.